I know it's supposed to be a travel channel, but right now we are on April 25th of 2020. And as all of you know, this is a COVID pandemic and we're not supposed to leave our houses. So being a good citizen, I decided to look for services that would help me to stay in home. And one of those services was a food delivery. It's a subscription-based service. They deliver you all the ingredients with the recipes, out of which you make certain meals. And for you to make those meals, you can go online once a week and choose any 3 recipes, and they would deliver it to you in the box. I had my first experience with it last week, and I'm going to talk about my experience at the end of this video. But what I wanted to do today is to make life for you experimenting with those recipes and evaluate their services on different criteria. For example, criteria on how well it's packaged, how well it's presented, how easy to make, and considering that I live in a small condo in downtown Toronto, this is all my kitchen, standard kitchen, about 10 feet, with a very limited small space for preparing the food, a stove, a sink, and very limited number of pots and pans that I have. So this is what the box looks like. This is the name of the company. They call themselves a Good Food. Okay, so let's take a look what's inside this box. So first, on very top, there's 3 recipes. And I must say, for this week, I did not choose the recipes, so they sent me something 3 in absolute random. And those are the 3 recipes that we will be trying out this week. So we've got pork chops, we got cod, a fish, and we got vegetarians, cauliflower. All right, so let's open the box and see what's inside the box. So the box has a very good isolation, as you can see, for keeping the food nice and cold. It's actually pretty cold on the inside. And we have here 3 bags. So this would be pork chop ingredients, and as you can see, there's all the ingredients are inside. We've got the cauliflower ingredients for the cauliflower dish. And the last one is for the cod. So this is for the cod. As you can see, it says cod on it. So at the bottom of this box, there is this little separator, and we've got all the protein. So the protein lays on top of the ice packs, which is really good packaging, I would agree. So it's very well thought through. So we got pork chops. Here's the pork chops. And we've got cod. So this is the fish. Well, let's try it with something random. Let's take the one in the middle. Let's try fish, cod. So we're going to try this recipe right now. Okay. So here we've got baby spinach. Looks very fresh. Green beans. I think this is the onions. Onions already sliced, which is good. We've got garlic. This is garlic. We've got garlic. We've got spices. Again, some kind of sauce, no name, rice, and the lemon. They claim that everything is 100% recyclable, so on every bag it says they're recycled. I read only 10% of the plastic actually being recycled. So being recyclable does not necessarily mean it will be recycled. So out of all this, maybe only this will get recycled, if ever. So I think that's a little bit of waste, and a lot of this could have been packaged in paper bags rather than plastic bags, just better for the environment. So the recipe contains the list of all the ingredients that's provided and step-by-step instructions in the back. For my first experience, they were not easy to follow. I don't think they're properly written, and they're very confusing. I mean, it's not as complicated recipe to follow, but it could have been written much better, and especially the font So you can see it's pretty tiny font. A lot of people wearing glasses, this would not be very acceptable for them too. So on the recipes and following instructions, I would give it another maybe 1.5 out of 5 at the most. So next step, I'm gonna try to make all of this into this and see how this works out, and then we'll talk about the taste. Half the garlic. Okay, so the garlic and onions are cooking, like prescribed, about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we're gonna add rice. I guess they want us to brown the rice a little bit. And they want us to add the sauce in there. Okay. Also forgot to mention, each one of those sets is actually for 2 people, so it serves 2 people. There's 2 pieces of cod in here, as you can see. So it serves 2 people, 1 meal, 2 people, or 1 person, 2 meals. All right, so now they want us to add 3.5 cups of water. 1, 2, I think that's a little much. Well, what I like to do is sometimes instead of adding all water, just to make it a little bit more flavorful, I actually add a broth. In this case, it's chicken broth going in. Looks more like a soup now. We'll see what's gonna happen. And salt and pepper. So pick the mint leaves and also chop them up as well. So all right, let's get started. Smells delicious. I love mint. I truly do love mint. Mint is ready. So okay guys, it's been 10 minutes. Still looking soupy right now. We're gonna add the piece like it's requested and cook for another 3 minutes. Okay guys, 5 minutes passed by with the piece inside the rice. Next step is to cook the fish. Again, I jumped up a little bit further to the servings, and it says that I was supposed to add spinach to the rice before serving it. Rice probably gonna get cold by the time I finish cooking the fish, so I don't know if they meant to be cooking the fish while the rice is being cooked or cook it right after. Again, fail on their end. Absolutely horrible instructions. Let me show you. So the rice is nice and moist, and we got the spinach, peas, nice beautiful color, good flavor. So quite happy with it. Yeah, in my opinion, there was absolutely no need for an extra half a cup of water. All right, let's get started on fish. Open the cod, open the fish, wash it, dry it. And my pan is non-stick, so it's something called the Rock. It's a non-stick pan, but we're still gonna follow the instructions. So here goes the fish, and then we're gonna go into the next step, making salsa. Okay, so we're gonna put all the spices on one side. We're gonna use our salt. It is medium, and we're gonna cover it and let it sit there for 2 to 3 minutes. Then open it, flip it, another 2 to 3 minutes. So while the cod cooks, we can actually go to the next step and make the mint salsa that they recommended right here. So we're gonna use 1/3 of the Parmesan cheese. We're gonna use the remaining garlic, and we're gonna use 3/4 of the mint, and they want us to squeeze 2 of those quarters. Again, a huge fail on their side, because in every respected house there's something called a juicer. So you don't need to actually cut it in the quarters. You could have cut it in half, and it's a lot easier to juice the half than the quarters. So huge fail on there. I'm gonna try to still, okay, there we go, it worked. So, Okay, so we got the lemon juice, 3/4 of the meat, and 1/3 of Parmesan cheese. Once again, the bags are not pre-cut, so I'm gonna use the scissors. 2 tablespoons of oil, my favorite olive oil. We're gonna stick with just with the salt for now. And the cod's been 3 minutes on the stove already. I'm gonna flip it over. It smells actually really good, so I'm not sure if it's the spice blend or it's just me being semi-professional. So I'm just gonna mix it with the spoon, and assuming that's what they want us to do. Again, another big fail on their end in terms of recipe instructions. I'm adding remaining mint to the rice. A tablespoon of butter. Okay, the cod is getting ready. I think that's good enough for the fish. We don't want to overcook the fish. Otherwise, you're just going to taste rubbery. That's from my experience. We want to preserve moist in the fish, so I'm just going to put it aside. So basically, they want us to put a bed of this rice, then the fish on top, and a little slice of lemon on the side. So for decoration, I'm assuming. So we're gonna get this rice. I'm gonna put it on the plate. That's actually quite a lot of rice. I think it's more rice than average person would need to eat for one meal. But fish, I just noticed that one fish is quite larger than another, so if you are providing a serving for 2 people, you probably want to make them more or less equal. Okay. And we're gonna put this mint salsa on top. Side. There we are. This is our final dish. Looks pretty good. This is another half the portion. And this is all the dirty dishes we have left with. Not bad, I would say. It's pretty close. Rice actually cooked through very well. It's very nice. Fish. Very lemony. Overall, I say I quite enjoy it. I don't think you need this extra lemon on the side. It's quite lemony already. So, what's the verdict? Was easy to prepare. I'd give it 4 out of 5. Taste, I would also give it 4 out of 5. A mess made in the kitchen. Very easy to make, very little dirty dishes at the end, so 5 out of 5, that's an easy dish. However, keep in mind that this dish, the box, cost $78. So each one of those plates comes down to about $16, $17 Canadian. Is it worth it? It's a rice with fish. I could probably get the restaurant delivered for about the same price, so I don't know if it's worth for me spending half an hour in the kitchen, cooking, washing dishes. So it's 1 hour of my life for not saving any money and getting exactly the same food as you would get from the restaurant with delivery. So overall, I would say so-so. If you like to cook, yes, you can do so. Otherwise, just go to the nearest convenience store or grocery store, buy all those ingredients, and you can make it yourself just as easy. But if you like the fact that it's already pre-measured for you, that's also an advantage. Otherwise, order from your favorite restaurant. It's not a complicated dish and you can do it yourself.